Good morning. It is the day before New Year's Eve, 2022, and I just wanted to let you know January will be 12 months for me from the point of starting Zoloft and 6 months from the time that I was established on the full dose of 50 milligrams, which has been my dose. Um, for me, it's been great. I feel now that a lot of the problems that I was dealing with are virtually non-existent. It's not a cure-all. There are days where, I don't feel as great, or the anxiety does come back because I have been taking the Zoloft for anxiety. But before I was even on Zoloft and had the issue that I had thanks to working as a nurse in COVID, in the emergency department, I still struggled with traveling and being too far away from home, and the occasional panic attack and social anxiety and all kinds of stuff. Um, and I have to tell you, since starting Zoloft, the traveling thing is significantly easier. I've been on several trips in the last couple of months, especially since, I am in Florida and we had to deal with Hurricane Ian. I had to evacuate for that, and I think that kind of just pushed me straight forward into this lifestyle that I've been wanting, which is traveling and getting out more and doing the things that I feel like I've missed out on. And I spent the first 29 years of my life not getting to enjoy. So that's been a huge, insane benefit from taking 50 milligrams of Zoloft. I had to stick with it. I had tons of side effects. Every time I went up, it lasted probably at least 1 to 2 weeks with the side effects. And for me, they were many. My eyes would be dilated in the morning, but it would eventually go away. I would have headaches. I would have increased bouts of anxiety, intrusive thinking, things like that. I call it anxious thinking because it's just weird. It's weird things that once you calm the anxiety, I had a doctor prescribe hydroxyzine, which is like a really strong version of Benadryl. It's prescription antihistamine, but it also works on anxiety. So I would take literally a quarter of the dose I was prescribed, and I would feel great within 30 minutes. It was gone. It was done. And I was like, okay, that's just anxiety. It's from the Zoloft. I just increased, maybe 3 or 4 days ago. That's why it's happening. So you really have to talk yourself through it. Keep your provider close to you, send them messages, keep appointments every 2 to 4 weeks is what I did, especially when going on the medication, because I didn't know what to expect, right? You don't know what to expect unless you do it. Or maybe you've done it before and you're going back on a different one or going back on the same one, but you don't know if you'll have everything exactly the same way. So definitely talk with your doctor over any concerns and keep them close by as needed. But yeah, I'm not here to give medical advice. This is just my experience, and I'm loving it. It also treats my PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, and that's been good. Again, it's not a cure-all. I have days where I feel very down. I feel fatigued. I have all the pain, the migraines, all the fun stuff. Some mood swings, food cravings, all those things. But I have to say, the mood swings have been less. They have been less. I do get anxiety with it, but it is concentrated to 1 or 2 days. Or maybe in the morning when I first wake up, or I have a bad dream, but then you wake up, it goes away. It's something that is fewer and further between, whereas before I was really, really struggling, and I kid you not, I was bedbound for days and days at a time, and it was just not fun. Yeah, I'm trying to think about, I've gained weight. But for me, that's good. That is because I treated my anxiety. It's not from the Zoloft itself. You will not necessarily, again, talk with your doctor, gain weight because you're taking an antidepressant. For me, with anxiety, I did not eat when I was stressed. my response to being anxious and scared is shutting down, not eating, very flighty. And once I started treating it finally with the Zoloft, I eat normally. When I go on trips, I don't miss meals. I am very, I'm eating healthy. I'm happy. I'm up and moving. I'm doing things and I'm in a healthier place. I am 5'6" and my heaviest weight was 104 pounds. That's not good. That wasn't good for me. And I am now up to 122. 5'6" and 122 pounds. And it feels incredible. I'm no longer like freezing all the time. I don't get told to eat a cheeseburger, even though it's nobody's damn business. Yeah, I feel good. I feel healthier. And it's all about how you feel. Quality of life is so important. So talk with your doctor if you're experiencing any issues you feel that need to be treated. And if you get the brush off, if you get told it's all in your head, if you get told, oh, just be grateful, honey, please. There is a difference between being ungrateful and entitled over having panic attacks, feeling clinical depression, feeling real anxiety towards things, having intrusive thinking. There are things, and you need to describe them in detail to a provider that you trust. And also, I know a concern for people who do deal with mental health issues, because I don't like the term mental health, as I've said before. I think it's a terrible description. It is brain health. You don't go to your doctor and describe a heart problem and get told, oh, be grateful, your heart will fix itself. No, that is not what happens. So why should it happen when you have a brain health issue? If you have a stroke, do you get told, oh, you better start being grateful, the stroke won't clear itself up? Like, no, they treat the stroke. If it's hemorrhagic, we put a drain in your brain. If it's ischemic, we start you on TPA if you're within the window. I'm a nurse, by the way. There's just so many things that we treat. And I'm just sitting here like, there should not be this stigma. And I know that is one huge barrier for people who don't want to start this drug, even though they have a feeling or they're pretty darn sure that they need it. I'm just here to tell you that stigma is freaking garbage, because this is brain health, okay? Antidepressants like Zoloft bind to receptors to make sure that serotonin is not reuptake at a rate that is way too fast, and as it's, being taken up and not sitting where it needs to sit and flowing the way it needs to flow, that's when you start to feel all these things. That's a physical problem. That is a physical problem with mental health or brain health side effects. Don't need a textbook to tell me that. It's really not that difficult. So I just want to let you know, if that is your fear, kick that shit to the curb, because if anyone looks down on you, then they're not the right person. They're not the right person. Find a new provider. Go to someone who will support you and who will listen and who will understand. There are wonderful primary care doctors out there. They can refer you to someone. They can treat it themselves. There are clinics out there, health departments. They can guide you in the right direction of who to see, if they can treat it. It depends on where you are and who you're talking to. So yeah, don't be afraid. But again, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's your brain health. It's your life. It's your quality of life. But I just want to let you know that my benefits have outweighed the risks. And I'm happy with what I have done for myself. And that is purely what I'm here to tell you. It was a roller coaster. The whole time that I was going on Zoloft, I kept telling everyone, I'm like, this is a roller coaster. This is a wild ride. I have never been on a ride like this. It's up and down, up and down. But once you get leveled out and then you go up and you level out and you go up and you hit the dose you want to be on, it's like one day the clouds move and the sun appears. And I have seen that type of description in reviews of this medication because I was scared. I was terrified to start it. I have had so many doctors say, this will help you. Try it. If not, we'll come down off of it and we won't do it again. And that's fine. And I was so scared. I wouldn't listen. I was not compliant. And I have to tell you, after reading reviews, I was like, if I do this, I'm going to commit. I'm going to be committed. I have my family around me. I'm strong enough. I can get through this. I have my doctors around me. I'm going to just keep them close and reach out with a message anytime I have a simple question. And that's what I did. And it was the best decision I've ever made. And I have to tell you, I'm almost 1 year in. January 19th, 2023 will be 12 months, 1 year since starting Zoloft. And some people do start high. They start 50 or 100 and they just go. And they're like, I felt results at 5 weeks. Great. I am a sensitive, crazy person. Like I am like a child. I have to start low and go up very slowly. So I started low, went up over about 6 months, and I can't tell you how incredibly beneficial it's been. I can only, like, I can't recommend it to you, but I can, but I can't. If you're struggling, please talk with your doctor. It's so worth it to seek the right, the right support. There's so many support systems out there. Project Healthy Minds is one of them. So if you go to Project Healthy Minds online, they have tons of resources. They can guide you in the right direction. Another thing I want to talk about is the stigma about healthcare providers and being Baker acted, being kept in a mental health institution. That's something that's been brought to my attention by others. And I just want to say that a Baker Act is for somebody who specifically is struggling with being a harm to themselves or others. It is always best to tell the truth. We can't help you if we don't know what's going on. Okay? We cannot help you if we do not know what's going on. And again, if someone brushes you off, if a healthcare provider isn't hearing it, go to someone else until you find someone who listens. I'm telling you, brain health is just as important as heart health, kidneys, lungs, anything else. It's a vital organ and you've got to take care of it. So this is my experience. This is my words of wisdom, things that I have learned. And I hope that it can be of some comfort to you during your time, going through this, getting onto the medication, if you're questioning it, finding the right resources or anything else. And if you have anything you want to add or anything you want to suggest or talk about your experience, definitely subscribe, comment below. We're all here to be supportive. Any kind of negativity will be reported. Thank you. Bye-bye.